Good morning. It's the Charles Van Morgan Show, broadcasting live in the morning. So, we're going to talk about your freedoms being taken away, legislated by the governor, the Peace Act, and how franking pays for your tax money pays for their propaganda, their false propaganda, and they won't even let us put out truthful propaganda, making the First Amendment against the law. That's what your Christian governor, your self-proclaimed Christian governor does. Come on in, the Charles Van Morgan Show. Welcome, welcome. So we're going to talk about that this morning, how they limit our speech and they publish any damn thing they want, any lie they want. That's what they publish. And you pay for their lies, but they won't let us put out the truth against their lies. They made it illegal, passed a law. It's illegal to speak out against these thugs, these criminals, these criminaloids. So come on in, join the show. We're going to explain that to you today. We're going to talk about the Peace Act, and the governor made that a law. You can't pass out flyers against him anymore, and that's the reason why he made the law, because I passed out 40,000 flyers all over the state telling the truth about him. So come on in. We're going to talk about the Peace Act and how that in Tennessee, and if they can get by with it in Tennessee, you don't think they'll do this in your state? They are trying to stop us from getting the truth out, from getting information out to the populace in the crooked state of Tennessee, and they're going to do that nationwide. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the laws that they're passing. They're getting government power, passing laws that benefit themselves, stopping the mass population from disseminating information that's helpful and beneficial and talks about the crooked things they do, the illegal things they do while they're in government power. So come on in. We're going to talk about that today, and also get your questions together. We're going to answer some questions in the chat box today. We have overwhelming activity in the chat, some good, some bad, and we're leaving it open. You can say whatever you want to say, subject to YouTube restrictions. I can't do nothing about that, but I personally placed no restrictions on it. So come on in, say what you want to ask questions. We're going to try to answer your questions the best we can, and answer the questions we want to answer and don't answer the ones we don't want to answer. And you can ask whatever you want to, and I'll give you that, but don't tell me how to answer the questions, because I'm going to answer questions with the truth, not your fake propaganda lies, some of y'all. And a lot of y'all have told me that somebody's kicking you off the chat, and I've opened the chat wide open. You can say whatever you want to, but YouTube has some restrictions. So if you're being kicked off, it's not because of any moderator or anything that I have done. It is because the YouTube algorithm may be knocking you off because of the nature of how you're putting things, not wrongly, but YouTube's wrongly censoring you. So they censor us, and they get by with doing whatever they want to do. That's the way it's done. And we got to get out a message the best we can, in spite of their crooked. So that's why we're broadcasting. Broadcast pretty much every morning. I have been sick, but I'm still fighting the good fight, and I've been diagnosed with pneumonia. Like many Americans, I couldn't go to the hospital because I don't have medical insurance, because the state stole my medical insurance away from me when they illegally, illegitimately stole my job. So they're in the state of Tennessee government, people in power are in the death business. They like to kill people. And so they've tried to do that to me and my family in more ways than one. And that's the way they do. They lie on you, try to put you in poverty, and try to take away your rights. And that's just the honest truth. Unbridled news. You don't see a bridle in my mouth. You don't see the state telling me what to do. I'll say the truth, what needs to be said, the best I can say it, and I'll keep putting it out regardless of how they make their laws. I'll abide by their laws and keep putting out information the best I can until we get in power and abolish these laws and put their nasty skanks in jail. It's what they need to do. That's what needs to happen. Some of them need to go to jail until they suffer the consequences of their evil. They're not going to correct their evil. Their consciences are seared. We've got to put it to them. We've got to put it to them with the truth, with real propaganda. We got to demoralize them. They've demoralized themselves. We've got to show how wicked and corrupt these people in government power are. And that's what you'll get here, the unbridled truth. The unbridled truth from somebody who's experienced government corruption firsthand from these unethical, unqualified, lying, stench leeches that are worthless, that are even so corrupt and crooked, they're even dangerous to themselves. They even hurt their stupid selves. And they've infiltrated our government power wrongly in this fallen world, and we can fight them. We can fight them. So today we're going to talk about the Peace Act, how that is an effort by Governor Bill Lee. You might as well call it to stop Charles Van Morgan from passing out truthful information to protect the public against me, the self-proclaimed lying Christian. And that's what he might as well say that act is for, because that's exactly what it was for. That act is designed to stop me from campaigning against him, not from saying anything bad about him. He don't want nothing said bad about him. He don't want the truth put out about him. He wants to, under the franking, they can put out information in the legislature paid by you, but you can't put out information that you even paid for. So you got to pay for his lies. You got to pay for Bill Lee's lies. You got to pay for people in power, their government, people's lies in order to maintain their power. And you can't even pay for the truth to mass disseminate it to Tennesseans. Now, how corrupt is that? Read the Peace Act. That's what it says. If they construe something to be against them, then they will consider it littering. Of course, the truth is littering to them because it steps on their power. They might not be able to hold power if the truth keeps getting let out. Let's see how many people got in here. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to talk about the dirty governor's Peace Act. Welcome, welcome. Like, share, comment, subscribe. The way you can help us get our message out, it's a message of truth against people in government power who are wrongly affecting you, who are responsible for the high price of things, the inflation. Don't be fooled. It's not by chance that things are going up. It is because the government, such a glutton, people in government power, specifically in the state of Tennessee, have used your money illegitimately, and they want a little more so they can use it for themselves to perpetrate their lying power some more. And they're going to keep doing that until we symbolically annihilate them. And that's what this channel is about. We're going to put out the truth about people in government power that fly the Christian banner and violate the Ten Commandments. Most of them, at least. And I know they murder because they put out lies. They put out lies that destroy people's character, symbolically murder. There's more than one way to kill somebody. You can put a gun to their head and pull the trigger, or you can lie about them, put out information to the public about them that is not true in an attempt to cause someone to commit an act of violence against them and their family, or you can make it impossible for them to get a job somewhere and impossible for them to continue their life by your false government propaganda. That's the way they do it. They lie, and then they refuse to correct their falsehoods. That makes it double wrong. And if they'll do it to a trooper in harm's way, they'll damn sure do it to you without batting an eye if they thought they needed to or needed a scapegoat. And that's what this channel's about. It's about the unbridled, undoctored truth against these dirtbag liars in state government. And we need to get rid of them. So let's see how many people we got in here. Stay along for the show. We have a show for you today. We're going to answer some questions. See what y'all got to say for yourself? Keep getting the message out, so subscribe. Help us send the message out. It's a message against people in power. They're crooked, dirty. If you've been mistreated by the government or you believe that they're dirty, then subscribe, like, and share. Let's help spread this message that they've made it unlawful to spread, and put it in their face. We're going forward, stand on the Constitution, whether they want to step on soldiers' blood or not. And that's exactly what they're doing. It's a travesty what they're doing. It's pretty sickening and pathetic. The First Amendment is not something you could take away. It's a God-given right. The First Amendment only recognizes that, and we're still putting out the truth against the dirty people in power in the crooked state of Tennessee, and I bet it's nationwide. Now, people tell me it's like that everywhere. I don't know. Then you need to get together in your state and you need to fight them, because that's what we're doing in the state of Tennessee. We're branching out nationwide. They're already having a little bit of a problem, aren't they? Look at the elections. They're getting a little closer and closer. A decision between bad and worse. So hang on board. Welcome to the show. Thank you so very much. 1.6 million people and more we have reached in the past 3 months. Our message is getting out, Governor Lee. Resign. Resign. Write your warrant out and turn yourself into the jail for the crimes you committed that are so secret nobody will ever find, because you're such a chameleon, such a dirtbag thug, and you have the audacity to fly the Christian banner. You piece of dirt. That's what I think. And I'm looking around. I don't see any lightning. You see any lightning? I don't think God's gonna challenge me. God's gonna kill me for a man that flies the Christian banner and won't even say the name Jesus Christ. Maybe he flies a Christian banner for politics to get in office, because that's popular. But he won't say the man's name that saves the world through belief and trust in his sacrifice for our sins. He won't say Jesus Christ. Does that sound like a Christian to you? I don't know. I don't know his heart, but I know his actions. I know a lot of them. And I tell you the truth, they're dirty as hell. And he's not a good man, in my opinion. He signed a law, the Peace Act, in May that takes my right away to say that. Guess what, Governor Billy? I'm out here on the sidewalk saying it anyway. Your administration's put my life in danger. I'm not even going to tell where you live or put your life in danger, because I'm not a thug dirtbag like you. So come on board. Let's see if we got any questions. So we got a few people in here. Not that many, but one or two. So, Rip Kyle Alto. That's not even the right name. That's not even the right name. Yeah, but you know what? Charles Van Morgan's still alive, ain't he? Yeah, and I still got a voice. So the winner of the war, that war, and proud of that. Keep up the good work, brother. Thank you, George H. Robinson. I appreciate it. Got a bunch of chats in here. Thank y'all very much. Any questions? We don't need sacrifice. God isn't for religion. That's right, he's not. God's not for religion. That's absolutely true. Anyone has their own truth. Everyone has their own truth. Yeah, that's right. And there's one truth that will never go away, and that's the truth of the Holy Word of God, the Bible, the Holy Bible, that proclaims it to be the ultimate truth, the Word of God. So that truth won't go away, and that's the real truth. So I am gay. Well, that's not something to be proud of. I wouldn't necessarily be proud of that. You know, I mean, takes all kinds, don't it? But according to God's holy word, you might not hearing this. That's a sin. Are you a judge? Am I a judge? Yeah, I can judge actions, everybody can. If somebody does something evil and wicked, then I could say they done an evil and wicked thing. I mean, you know. Rip Call Alto. That's not even the right name, dumbass. Let's see, Coach fans. Let's see what we got in here. Yeah, any questions y'all got? And we're going to talk about on our way to the bridge. You lost your job because you murdered a civilian. False propaganda. I've never killed anybody. You're going straight to emotion, aren't you? And I'm very proud of what I did. I protected society from that man that killed himself. How about that? You're a sick, demented, twisted person, and you're dangerous to yourself and others. What if that man that you allege I murdered, I never laid a hand on him, that murdered himself, what if he had slammed into you? What if he had slammed into you? He was drunk. Did you put that out that he was drunk, or are you just trying to lie? I'm proud of what I did. I protected you, even your idiot, psychotic ass. I mean, the man was drunk driving. It was my job to apprehend drunk drivers. I apprehended him, didn't I? So yeah. So you're a nut and a liar and a fraud. And I believe in praying. May God judge you for your fraud on humanity, I pray, no matter who you are. And God sees the evil and the good. And he knows who you are, and he will judge you for lying on me. That's what I believe. So if you're telling the truth, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you're not telling the truth, I just pray that God would punish you for your lies against me. How about that? How you like that? And maybe you don't trust in God. I do. And I believe that he is, and he's a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. And he also helps people who are mistreated by other people, and he punishes people. So I pray that you'll be punished for that false comment, that God will judge you harshly for your abuse of me and my family. So, hey, like that. So if there's no God, don't worry about it. And if you're telling the truth, don't worry about it. But I think you got something to worry about. You know, two of the people that lied on me and my family, that had the news media chasing around my kids, causing them trouble at their schools, because I was out protecting society. Two of the people that were responsible for that, Lionel Russell, a state representative now, a lawmaker that has no legal education. Wow, how do you get that? Well, it doesn't matter how hard you work. They say, you're on our team, you'll lie for us. You get a high position in the legislature. You can pass the Peace Act where people can't put out the truth about you. Guess what, Lionel Russell? I'm still here, you dirtbag, you lying thug. And I still pray that God judges you and your lying brother. He's got a picture on his Facebook page of him and his children. I wouldn't dare hurt his children. Y'all are sick people. You even tried to hurt my children, my family. Sick people, and that's your government. That's your government. That's people in government power. They don't even deserve to be there. Sergeant Corey Russell. Sergeant Corey Russell, where'd you go? Do you have any training that teaches you how to protect the public? Or did you get there because you're lying dirty brother? You know, I was raised without a dad fighting brothers, didn't have any brothers. And y'all are a bunch of thugs, dangerous to society. And I pray God protects your children, but you're responsible for the thug you are. And you ought to resign. You're dangerous to yourself and other people. That's what I think. And you all won't let me say that, will you? Well, I'm on YouTube talking to 1.6 million people, you dirty thugs, saying it. So that's part of how they spread their lies. They make it illegal through the Peace Act, which makes it illegal to leaflet, which is a constitutional right to pass out information against people in government power. So they've made it illegal to do that with the Peace Act. Governor Bill Lee signed that act in May. He signed it in direct opposition to me passing out information against him, which is a dirty ex-cop. I'm not a dirty ex-cop. I protected your life. People that didn't even believe it. You're a dirty thug. And again, I pray in the Lord Jesus' name that people who continue to defame me at the hands of Lionel Russell, and it's Lionel Russell's fault, and Major Stacey Heatherly, that they will be adjudicated, and that they will suffer the consequences of their wickedness. I continue to pray that. And God's a judge. Larry Russell's not a judge, and I'm not the judge. That's what I pray every day. So if I'm wrong, then you ain't got nothing to worry about. So you can get in here and spread all your lies you want to. Actually, you're helping me, calling me a dirty cop. I was the best cop in the state. I made it safer for people to come home at night. And the twist, the lie, the deceit. I was out trying to arrest a drunk driver, and they used me as an example of how they get rid of bad troopers. What a twist. What a psychotic bunch of dirtbags. And the colonel over the highway patrol, Matt Perry, the coward that he is, he's a dirty present cop. Matt Perry, I went to the academy with him. He's a dirty present coward cop. Matt Perry is. In the class we went to, he didn't even get sprayed with chemical spray. Everybody else did because his daddy protected him. He didn't want his boy to squeal like a pig, like his boy is. A little sissy boy, cowardly man. And he stands up and gives speeches. Somebody give him a little dose of chemical spray. I'm just saying, let him see how it feels like. They did that to me. Why don't you do that to him? Because he's protected to lie to people. He won't even answer news media's questions. The very two people, Major Stacy Heatherly, got hit by a drunk driver. She took the leading trooper off the road that made more drunk driving arrests than any trooper in the state. Created an environment, because she was in a position of power, in a position with authority and resources, state tax dollars, to lower the fatality rate. Her position gave her power to do that, not like a civilian. You can't do anything about the fatality rate, except for not drive drunk. Pay attention, you're driving, but you have no authority to stop somebody that ain't driving safe, stop somebody that's drunk. You don't have no authority to do that. She, Major Stacy Heatherly, was in a position of authority, and still is, and been advanced by the Christian governor. And she, while she had authority and tax money and resources to lower the fatality rate, she made an environment that was not only dangerous for you, she's so stupid and idiot, she made it dangerous for herself and got hit by a drunk driver herself. So is she a dirty cop because she got hit by a drunk driver, and I'm a dirty ex-cop because I didn't let a drunk driver run over me or anybody else? And what a twist on that. I mean, is down up and up down? Does the sun not exist? I bet you think the earth is flat too, don't you? I mean, how ridiculous is it what they're trying to sell you? It's not real difficult. That's why they don't want somebody like me out putting out the truth, because it's pretty plain and simple. It's not complicated. If you tell a lie like they do, you have to go through all kinds of hoops. You have to go straight to emotion. That's how they get stuff across. That's how Hitler got stuff across. He said, the Jews are destroying our nation, trying to make people mad. The Jews weren't destroying the nation. The Jews weren't destroying the nation. Charles Van Morgan killed somebody. I never killed it. I never murdered anybody. I was on the job in pursuit of a actual violator of the law who was dangerous to you and wouldn't stop. He crashed into a tree eluding police and murdered himself by refusing to stop. That's the truth. Look at the story. Look at the video. I know the line narrative that they tell you, putting you through hoops to say that I murdered somebody. How do you get that together? I mean, you have to be pretty psychotic. And they know that somebody just telling you the truth, that it's real simple. The man was a danger to himself and everybody else. He killed himself. That's real simple. That makes too much sense. And they know if somebody like me puts that out, then people will believe it. It's pretty simple. The truth it's not hard to tell. It's not. It's pretty simple. They go on emotion. You drove past a wreck in line. That's not true. I drove past a wreck because I didn't see it as a wreck. I didn't lie about anything. I drove past the wreck because it was in the dark. I didn't see it. And another witness live on the scene at 3:30 didn't see it either. So two people, what are the odds that? Two people didn't see it. I didn't see it, and another witness didn't see it. So I drove past it because it wasn't seeable. So you don't want to leave that out. You want to leave out that a lady also that heard a noise looked out her window and couldn't see anything. I didn't see anything, she didn't see anything. So yeah, and I didn't lie about anything. I didn't lie about nothing. I didn't see a wreck. I saw what I thought was a parked car. The judge and the court system lied about stuff, is what happened. And the fact that Lion Lowell Russell has got all this started, has got this attack on me, is so crooked. And you know, he got hit by a vehicle, made the society more dangerous because I would have been out enforcing the law, and he took me off the road with his lies and his malice towards me, and he still has that to this day. So let's talk about Lion Lowell Russell. You want to talk about me? Let's talk about, I lied. Why would I lie about that? See, that don't even make any sense. I'm in pursuit of somebody and I lie about not being able to find them. Let's talk about Lowell Russell, that I made a complaint against him. I made a complaint against him through their procedures for age discrimination. So he had a reason. He had a reason to lie on me. Let's talk about that. So you don't want to talk about that, do you? That I had no reason to drive past the wreck. I had no reason to do that. So let's talk about that. So now my screen is a little messed up here. So hopefully y'all can see me. I don't know. Tell me if anything's in the way. But you put on a show for the camera. Yeah, that's a hindsight statement. That wasn't made under oath. It wasn't made. That was talking to supervisors. Now see, they're putting a light on everything I did that they can twist as being wrong. You do have to put on a show to show the public that you're doing everything that you can do to that is absolutely correct. So they post all that false propaganda. They post all that false propaganda that I put on a show, and take that one line out. That wasn't under oath. I didn't say that under oath. I said that to supervisors, and that is true in law enforcement. Put in its context. You talk to other police officers and other officers differently than you would the public. In context, in a profession, and it is true. If you're at the scene of a serious incident, so I'll stand behind that. You do have to put on a show, absolutely. If you go to an incident where you know somebody's dead, you could say, so to speak, talking to other officers, not the public, because I didn't intend that message to be put out. Major Stacy Heatherly surreptitiously reported that and put that message out to put my children in danger. That's what she did. That's what she did. She lied and said that, and took that out of context. She lied under oath. She was on notice. What about that? She was on notice that she was held to the standard of truth. You paid for an expert witness to go out and prove a lie. And she lied under oath, saying that I saw that car. And how could she know that? How could she know that? And knew it was a wreck? How could she know that? So she's lying, obviously trying to spread a lie that's not true. And the truth has weight and value. That's why I don't have medical insurance right now. Not because I did anything wrong. And Major Stacy Heatherly benefits from lying because they get promoted for lying. She lied for Governor Bill Lee, the billionaire. He's got medical insurance right now, doesn't he? And I don't have medical insurance, and taking all this abuse off people because I was out risking my life for public safety. Isn't that just a little bit of a spin on reality? I mean, how does that happen? It happens because of evil, wicked people like Major Stacy Heatherly. These thugs, that's why that happens. And it is wrong. So let's see the comments. Police officers, gang members, same thing. They look out after each other, and if you snitch on one of your own, you will deal with according, just like any other gang. Yeah, it depends on who you snitch on. If you snitch on the people at the bottom, they're fair game. They're fair game. The people at the top are the ones that you got to worry about. So, not under oath. It's illegal to lie to the police, even if you're a police. Okay. I didn't lie. I never said I lied. See, you don't even listen to what I'm saying. So you just know what you're going to believe, even if it's a lie, and you run straight head on into a drunk driver that was going to kill you that I saved you from. I didn't say that I lied. I didn't lie. I said, see, you can't even, I mean, you're not even a reasonable person. I never said I lied. I didn't lie. I said they lied under oath. I mean, get your lies straight here. I said what I said was the truth in context. It was. I didn't say I lied about it. You do have to put on a show. That's not a lie. You do. You do. Had I known, this is the seditious part, and this is part every trooper in the state ought to know. That's what they'll do to you. They'll take something out of context, put it all over the world to try to get people to try to kill you. And people did try to hurt me physically because of Major Stacy Heatherly. And, you know, I'm not out to hurt her. I pray that she will suffer the consequences of her evil actions. She already has. And she's a major over THPP. Wow, what a disgusting agency. She doesn't have any training in public safety and providing for mass safety. A Christian governor that claims he's out for the safety, peace, and prosperity and the values of all Christian values, put somebody second in command in THP, third in command, I think it's major in THP in Nashville, and first in command over this area here. Put somebody in charge. Pretty much, it's like going to a hospital. Like going to a hospital where you don't go see a doctor. You go see who the governor's appointed that he got off the street, a thug that's drunk and is gonna treat you. And that's who he's put people that have no experience, no training, haven't worked all their life to provide for public safety, to learn how to provide for public safety. So you know, really, and you people that are running me down, what kind of education do you have? Do you have an education in political science? Do you know what you're talking about? No, you're an idiot if you're running me down. Do you have an education in sociology? Or do you just listen to the news and buy it hook, line, and sinker? I mean, really? You don't know what you're talking about. And you're an idiot and you're stupid. You're completely ridiculous, absurd, and you're not even listening to what I'm saying. So, you know, you're to be annihilated, not to be talked to or discussed. And I appreciate you being on my channel, symbolically annihilated, and I just did. I don't have to answer to you. I answer to God. I'll have an award in heaven for my actions that night. I know how I got treated on the face of this planet by rogue government people, and I know how they've answered for what they've done. Both of them have had serious wrecks, and they still hurt to this day probably. And you know, my warning is to them is I'm still praying. I haven't got up. God's still on the throne. You don't have ultimate control on this earth. You might be a deceitful, wicked liar and on the devil's side because he's got control of this earth right now. But Christians can still pray, and I still pray that God punishes you for your abuse of me and my family. And I trust God. There's other cars out there that can hit you, other drunk people out there, because when you don't provide for public safety, you make the area that you live in unsafe for you too, you dumbasses. You should have promoted me and helped me be able to make it more safe for other people. So the government does usually the exact opposite what the government should do. And they do it with false propaganda, with lying on people, telling falsehoods, stuff that's not true. That's a dirty lie. That's absolute the opposite of the facts, and twist facts and make people angry. Angry. You ought to be angry at the Kyle and Ito family that raised a son to do something like that. Instead, you're angry at my children. How dare you? Let me tell you what, let me give you a little warning. The news media says I'm a coward. No, the colonel of the highway patrol's a coward. Major Stacy Heatherly's a coward. Lion Lowell Russell and his brother Coy Russell's a coward. They're the cowards. And they steal your money. They shouldn't be in public office. They ought to be behind bars for the crimes that they've committed. They're dirtbag thugs. They got promoted. Coy Russell got promoted not because of any qualifications, because of life-saving. He got promoted because his brother's in government power. Wouldn't it be great if you could get a high-paying government position destroy people out doing their job if you had a brother in government power. That's how it works. That's how the government works. Who's ever in power gets to decide that their friends and family, it's called nepotism, get promoted to positions of high authority. Not based on who protects who. I mean, like you go to a hospital and you expect to see a doctor. You've got something that needs to be taken care of. You're hurting somewhere. And you go to a doctor that the governor has promoted somebody who has no medical knowledge whatsoever at all. But that's who the governor's promoted and said that they can help you. And promote them to high doctor head over the emergency room. So you go in there, you got a gunshot wound, and that doctor comes in and he don't know nothing to do about a gunshot wound, never been to school, never been to medical school, never been to any kind of class. Wouldn't you want somebody that'd been to medical school, graduated, passed medical tests and knew what they're doing? You look at Lionel Russell, promoted by the governor. The governor's the one that promoted him, gave him money, and said, put his stamp of approval on Lionel Russell. I mean, I'd be embarrassed if I was Lionel Russell. He's even over the Police Officer Standing Training Commission. He's never been to law school, doesn't know anything about law. He's a lawmaker. Never been to law school, never passed the law test, never could pass the law test. He's got a degree in dirty, a degree in elevating himself above what he's capable of doing. I mean, you go to the hospital, drive the roads in state Tennessee. Drive the roads in state Tennessee. Wouldn't you want police officers out that have a Master of Arts in Sociology with an emphasis in criminology? Wouldn't you expect that? Wouldn't you expect that? So that you can drive through the state of Tennessee safely? Why? You know, am I lying? Let me, I didn't even say this under oath. I have a Master of Arts in Criminology from the University of Tennessee. Master of Arts in Sociology, the emphasis in Criminology from the University of Tennessee. So, I know a little bit by studying literature and facts, research and projects about providing for road safety. But I'm not handpicked dirty for the governor. So he handpicked an idiot, Major Matt Perry, who's not qualified to be the major. He don't know about criminology. He doesn't know about how to keep the road safe. That's why the roads are so damn dangerous. So if I were Americans, I don't know about your state, I would not come through this nasty, dirty state where you're likely to get killed because the highway patrol is a bunch of buffoons. They're not substantially educated. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They're good at lying. They're good at maintaining power. That's all they're good at. They're not good at protecting you. They can't protect their stupid selves. They're running into each other. Police officers in Tennessee are colliding into each other. And they're supposed to stop you from wrecking or other people from running into you. I mean, it's not a joke. It's a serious, bad situation under a governor that proclaims to be a Christian that refuses to say the name Jesus Christ. Wow. That's what we got. Keep on. And then call me a murderer when I was out protecting human lives. I mean, that's a pretty good deception leap, isn't it? I'm not a murderer. I'm somebody that has a Master of Arts in Sociology with an emphasis in criminology, that knows about crime, that's studied it, that's looked around, not just my little world of crime. I've studied it from a worldwide perspective, the causes, and I know the intricacies of social harm. I know all about it. I've got an advanced level degree signed by the University of Tennessee that says I've passed tests, I've studied it. I've taken time out of my life to learn and study what harms society. I'm an expert level in crime. I know what I'm talking about. And yet I don't have a job. Substantially. I'm out here without medical insurance. Why? Because I dared to protect society against harmful people who have no education. The only thing they do, you know how you get promoted in the state of Tennessee? You say, Governor Bill Lee, you're the greatest man on the planet. You're a great man. I'll do whatever you want me to do, Governor Bill Lee. You're such a great, honorable person. I'll pass out leaflets for you. For you, Governor Bill. Yay. I'll be one of the 1.1 million foolish people that made a foolish decision. And 1.1 million people that voted for it. You were lied to. Churches, you were lied to. And I'm not ashamed to stand up against a church in Tennessee that voted for Bill Lee. You're more than welcome to vote whoever you wanted to. I quite frankly think that you were deceived, that you should have been out spreading the gospel instead of spreading lies for somebody that has a lot of people killed in the state of Tennessee unjustifiably, promotes a lot of violent, dangerous people. I don't think you should have voted for him. God's not going to judge me for standing against churches that are for him. He's just not. Excuse me, God doesn't work on your behalf just because you claim to be God and set up a church with a steeple on it. He doesn't. That's not true. God stands for one thing. One thing. It's called the truth. And the truth is right here. I know it is. Seen it with my own eyes. And what they have done to me in my life and what they will do to you in your life is complete, total devastation. Because the only people the governor cares about is himself, his sorry, stinking, nasty self. He deserves no honor. He deserves no honor. He's not an honorable person. You don't deserve honor because you illegitimately stop any opposition and win the governor's office. That's not honor just because you're the governor. You deserve honor. You deserve honor when you go in pursuit of a drunk driver and you risk their life to apprehend them. And they kill themselves, and you do everything you can do to protect human life. That's honorable. I deserve honor. He can be the governor. He doesn't deserve honor. And the real judge is not the judges here on the face of the planet. The real judge is God Almighty in heaven, a judge of the fatherless and widow, a judge of the helpless. And that's the real judge. And my conscience is clear. And what I did was right. I deserve honor. So you look at what these people tell you. You look at what these people tell you. And it's usually the exact opposite of what these lying dirtbags say. And that's the truth. The hate that they've got stirred up against me for protecting and preserving human life. The hate that lying little Russell's got stirred up against me. And he thinks he can just go on about his merry way. And no, there's the truth out here. The truth matters, lying little Russell. It matters. It matters a lot. It matters to 1.6 million people. They've heard it, and a bunch more are going to hear it. And you're not getting by with your lies. You're not getting by with it. You're a deceitful, disgusting, despicable, uneducated person, a lawmaker without any legal education. You could go to law school right now and learn how to better protect the public by getting educated. It'd spend you some time, you'd have to think. Thinking's hard work. Getting a law degree is very difficult. Very difficult. Going after drunk drivers and cleaning up the roads was very difficult. You've said in your viciousness and your nastiness and your sickness, you're a very sick individual. And people say, oh, I'm the one that's not a good person. I've got a JD, Doctor of Jurisprudence, passed the bar, I worked hard, earned that, and it's useless because of somebody that's a good person, because Larry Russell's a good person, a lawmaker, that never studied any damn thing. I'd be embarrassed if I was him. I'd be ashamed of myself. So when he stands up to give a speech, ask him how much education do you know if your speech even makes any logical sense or comports with the law? You know how much sense he makes? Zero. He's disgusting and embarrassing. He's a representative of the state of Tennessee, a lawmaker in Tennessee that has no education, that's got propped up by money and false propaganda. He's a disgusting individual. He should be in jail for what he's done, for the travesty that he's caused on society. He was on Interstate I-40 and wasn't paying attention to what was going on and caused himself to be in a car wreck. And he writes a book like he's some kind of damn hero because he's an idiot. You're not an intelligent person because you get your stupid ass hurt. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're supposed to be the best trained officers in the state. Do they not train you to be alert? Yeah, they do. I know they do. I was in the academy. I went through that stupid academy twice. And trust me, the Tennessee Highway Patrol Training Academy. I'm going to tell you about that. Now, I want y'all to listen. If you don't know anything else I said today, listen about this. Because that training academy is their God. I mean, they set you straight. supposed to be the best trained troopers in the state. They just graduated a class the other day. What a dangerous operation they run, a pathetic academy. The state of Tennessee Highway Patrol Academy. Now they're really antsy about that academy. They want it to be really hard, and they run a lot of people off, thinking they run a lot of good people off. That makes it a good academy. And let me tell you about that academy, because this makes them mad, and I know it makes them mad because I was there. And let me tell you what makes them mad. So, excuse me, still got a little bit of pneumonia I'm fighting. Not too sick to fight the state, though. So, that academy, they had a guy, and they get hundreds in, and they only graduate a small portion of what they get in. And they bragged that they started with 100, and they only graduated 40, that they got 40 of the best. They got 40 of people that really need a job to put up with their crap, is what they did. That academy is dangerous to Tennesseans. The Tennessee Highway Patrol State Trooper Academy and the Tennessee Highway Patrol Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Academy. Because I went to both those academies. Now I'm not just talking off the top of my head. I know what I'm talking about. I graduated from the Tennessee Commercial Enforcement Training Academy, same as the State Trooper Academy, except for they focus on commercial enforcement. And I graduated from the Tennessee State Trooper Academy. So welcome. I'm going to tell you about that. So welcome everyone. If you're just joining me, this is the Charles Van Morgan Show. And broadcasting live in the morning. We're on our way down to our office, the Henley Street Bridge. So like, share, comment, let's get this message out. I'm talking about getting truthful information out that the government has made it illegal to do. They're trying to make it more and more difficult for us to tell the truth about how dirty they are. The Peace Act makes it hard, and the governor wrote that. I ought to call that the Stop Charles Van Morgan from Telling the Truth Act. That's what the Peace Act is. No, peace officer. So it's the Stop the former Peace Officer Charles Van Morgan Act's what it is. From telling the truth about the dirty governor, alleged Christian governor. How dare you use Christian? You'll pay for that. I believe on the face of this planet. Fly a Christian banner and use that to get power. That's what the governor does. So we're putting out information, truthful information against him. Anyway, we're not going away, and people are listening. And the objective is to point out how they've demoralized themselves. We're just showing you what they do. It speaks volumes, speaks for itself. We're not demoralizing them. We are showing how they have demoralized themselves. We're telling you the truth about them. They lie about me, obviously. Their biggest lie is I was in pursuit of a drunk driver and I murdered a drunk driver. I mean, wow, how do you get there? You have to go through a lot of loops and hoops, a lot of lies. And you have to lie in police reports. And you have to change witness statements. And you have to lie under oath, and you have to have a bought and paid for judge, which is what they do. You won't get justice in Tennessee. You'll get a lying Governor Bill Lee liar that will stamp the weight of law on whatever he wants to do. Just like they'll stamp the weight of law that you can't pass out truthful information about that dirtbag. And you can't. Under his dictatorship and Christian churches, I think it's almost funny to me because God's not going to judge me because I'm standing against somebody that proclaims to be a Christian. God's not going to judge me because I'm telling churches, if you voted for him, you're deceived. You should have been spreading the gospel, sticking to your real business instead of messing with Charles Van Morgan. Because God's not going to judge me for fighting back justifiably and saying you're not doing the right thing, church. In the last days, that's kind of predicted. That the Bible teaches that the churches will grow cold. One of the ways they'll go cold is they'll get into politics and start backing up people just because they say they're Christian when they're not. Spread the gospel. If you're not going to do any better than Bill Lee, stay out of politics. Stay the hell out of politics and stop people from going to hell by proclaiming the name of Jesus Christ, who the man you voted for does not. If you don't believe me, call him and let him say the name of Jesus Christ publicly. He won't do it. He won't do it, I don't believe. Because he's a hypocrite. I believe he's a fake. That's what I think about him. So we're putting out truthful information, truthful propaganda, showing how they have demoralized themselves. And they're putting out lies about us, falsehoods about us. Now they use franking to put out information paid for by your tax dollars. Look it up. They can put out legislative activity. Lionel Russell can put out fake activity, promoting himself, promoting the state legislature, and you pay for his lies to go in your mailbox that you get, that you didn't request, to go in your mailbox promoting what good they're doing. And they're not doing good. He's a liar. He's a dirty liar. He's an uneducated buffoon that got in his position by worshiping the power elite. I mean, I can show you pictures of him standing beside the governor. How pathetic is that? Him all crunched up with a neck brace on, caused by his own ignorant self. But beside the governor has been. So these people put out lies, and your tax dollars pay for legislative material to go on your front doorstep. Pretty much, if your mailbox is there, and you pay for their lies, you pay for them to publicize fake, false information, and you got to pay for it. I got to pay for it. I pay for Lionel Russell's lies, for him to spread lies. You pay for his campaign signs. He's got campaign signs up on 411 where honoring him as a hero, like he's some kind of military hero, putting him in the same position as Patrick Fitzgibbon, a military hero that was killed in Afghanistan, trying to act like by framing it that Lowell Russell's similar to military people that died in foreign wars. And he's got a road sign just like him, a road named after him. He's got a whole damn road named after him. A military hero, Patrick Fitzgibbon, that was killed in Afghanistan by a roadside bomb on patrol, protecting the Constitution of the United States for you, just has a little mangy bridge. Lionel Russell, that's still alive, using that sign and the symbolism to promote his stupid self, never went to college to get a education in how to protect you, and is in position, and never went to law school. Like a doctor at a hospital that never went to medical school supposed to help you. He can't help you. He can lie. They don't care to help you. They care to help themselves. They don't promote people based on what they know to protect society. They promote people based on how well they'll lie for them, to protect them. It's under conflict. It's under conflict. A recognition of how society works, which is there's limited resources. This is what I learned from an education that they don't have and I do. That there's limited resources. Everybody knows that there's limited resources. And then people form groups. Groups form. People get together and form groups. Like the Republican Party. It's a group. The Democrat Party. It's a group. They get together and form groups. These groups fight for the limited resources. These groups that are together want those resources for themselves. They want government power for themselves to benefit their group. So they fight for these limited resources. And they compete for these limited resources. And they do whatever they need to do to get those resources. Corruptly, sometimes uncorruptly, justly, sometimes unjustly. So that's what drives society, is the fight over power and the fight over limited resources. And they lie, cheat, rob, and steal to get those resources, to get those advantages. And then all the mass populace that haven't combined to form a group are left without being able to have the resources, the organization necessary to form the get necessary power to form a group together that can fight these other groups. And that's what I'm trying to do with Vote, is form a group of mass citizenry together and get everyone to vote. Vote against Republicans and vote against Democrats. Vote against Republicans and vote against Democrats. Vote these people out of office. So we're going to the bridge here to show you the beautiful view. This is Charles Van Morgan in the morning. We're talking about how people in government power have formed groups. They fight for power. And they maintain their power a lot of times by corruption. And they are making it illegal to put out truthful information against them through the Peace Act and through making it illegal to publish the truth about them while they get a free ride. They get to publish information that helps them, that's a lie, and you pay for it. And I know they do that. And the Peace Act, and I'll read it, what it does when we get on the other side of the bridge, prevents people from passing out pamphlets, from leafleting against Governor Bill Lee. That's exactly what it does. That's exactly what it's designed for. So let's look at the view. So like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. This is Charles Van Morgan, the Charles Van Morgan Show. We are putting out truthful information against the state government. Come on board. We'll read some comments. And see what people got to say. And we're putting out truthful information against people in state government. Putting out truthful information about people in state government. And putting out propaganda, truthful propaganda, advertising against people in state government. So, my name is Charles Van Morgan. I am the former trooper of the Tennessee Highway Patrol that they defamed. They lied about me. They put me out in the paper in a false way, and they committed crimes under oath to take my job away from me. Now that was 13 years ago. People say, why don't you let it go? Well, I did let it go. I went on with my life. I went and got a doctor of jurisprudence, passed the bar exam, and they denied me my law license because of what I did protecting you. Because of what I did good, the Christian governor and his entourage is called bad. So they've called good evil, and a drunk driver and their family evil. They've called that good. And people are on here glorifying the deeds of somebody that made a mistake, an evil mistake that cost them their own lives. I didn't do anything evil, they did. And that was 13 years ago. And let it go. I did let it go. Passed the bar exam, went to law school, graduated from law school. Unlike your lawmakers, because the government doesn't care about protecting the public, having an education and knowledge to be able to do that. They don't care about that. They care about people who will lie for them and keep them in power. It's all about keeping them in power. It has nothing to do with public safety, the mass safety of the populace. I'm a populist person. When I was out on the road, I provided for your safety. Because of me, I know what they say. It's a lie. The government puts out false propaganda. They put out lies to maintain power. It's not about the truth. What's one of the best ways to say that you're a truthful person? You campaign in a church. I'm truthful. Look, I'm in a church. I mean, look at the picture that portrays. He got a lot of church people. He fooled a lot of church people. How dare he do that? I pray that he suffers the consequences of his evil, because I believe he's an evil person, and his deeds have been very evil. He won't let me put out information in pamphlets to leave like he does that he's evil. He wants me to leave out pamphlets to say he's a good person. I won't do that. They took my job away from me 13 years ago. I did let it go. I went on, graduated from law school. We're talking about test after test, studying for years, slept in my van in Nashville while Lowell Russell was state legislator, had his sign up, given something for nothing. At your demise. He doesn't know the law, doesn't know how to protect the public, has never studied it. He studied how to be deceitful and a dirty idiot liar, and he's even dangerous to himself. And Major Stacey Heatherly, she doesn't have any education in criminology, any education in public safety, nothing. She lies for the governor. They'll lie for the governor. They get promoted. It's about how well you lie, how high you go. The better liars, the higher they are in the food chain. The problem with that is it affects you. That's why you ought to be angry. So in 2018, I went before their crooked board of law examiners. The judges are promoted by the governor. They denied me my law license. Said I made mistakes in my application. Said I was not candid, which that's not true. I was very candid. They lied. And ruled for the governor again, second time, because the governor owns the judges. They're bought and paid for. They're illicit judiciary. You won't get a fair hearing in Tennessee courtroom. You'll get a hearing that the governor wants. And if the facts don't go their way, they'll add facts, lie about stuff. And I'm not exaggerating. Listen to my videos. So they turned me down. So I tried to go through their process again. Reapplied for the bar exam, corrected everything that they said I wasn't correct on, and applied again, passed the bar exam again, and again they turned me down, citing my previous application that I made no mistakes on, that were uncandid, like they portray, because they portray lies. That's what they do. And still, just a few months ago, this very year, they denied me my law license again. They denied my law license. So they're not. It's not because I'm not candid, because I'm not an honest person, wouldn't protect society. It's because the state government is in the business of blackballing certain citizenry. They're blackballers. That's dirty. That's not fair, honest government. That's not fair, honest judiciary. That's dirty, corrupt, stinking judiciary that people in power affect your very lives. And there's a tipping point at which we don't have to respect them. We don't have to respect a lie. We can point out the lie. You can say in your own heart and mind and take measures to say, look, this judge adjudicated this, and that's a falsehood, that's a lie. I don't have to respect, I don't care if it does come from the judiciary, a man in the robe. The man in the robe is a dirty liar. They've even gave themselves complete immunity to lie, held to no standard, so that they can continue to maintain your power while they fly a Christian banner. That's where you got a problem, because I pray about that. I literally pray that Governor Bill Lee will be exposed for the man he is, because he's using Christianity to perpetrate his billions and his billionaire buddy. and that he'll be exposed for the creep that he is, and that he will be punished for that. I pray that, because there is a God. The God that he makes fun of because he has no fear of God is real, and he exists, and he helps the less powerful. Just because we have less power doesn't mean we're powerless. We have power, and we have power with God. We can pray as you hear the church bells. It matters, Governor Bill Lee. Your lives matter. God hears them. God knows them. And when his people cry and pray, then God hears, and God will adjudicate. I hope he adjudicates you. I hope he punishes you severely, exposes you for the creep that you are. He's been told, he's been warned, and it has been declared war symbolically by Andy Ogles, December the 5th, 2025, in a Facebook page, officially by a statesman according to the Bible, that we're at war with the judiciary that lies for the governor. The governor is the judiciary because he's the supreme arbitrator of everything. He rules everything in his favor, regardless of any truth or fact. He rules everything to benefit his lying, dirty self, and passes laws that benefit him, and stops all opposition, which is what the crooked governor's done. Let's look at the beautiful view. So, let me answer questions here. Let's see what we got. You are powerless in the face of God. I don't agree with that. You're very powerful in the face of God because you can pray, and God loves humanity. He loves people, and God will listen to your prayers if you pray in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. So you're more powerful in the face of God, because when you're powerless or less powerful, you go to God, who is ultimate powerful. So the great equalizer is prayer. Okay. So any comments, I'll be glad to answer them. Some of them are so wicked that they won't even post in here. Lee is a fraud. That's right. Lee's a fraud. View deleted. Says I can get an attorney license off the internet. It doesn't mean such, but I can still get one. I've got a doctor of jurisprudence from the, not a law license. I've got a doctor of jurisprudence from the same law school that judges on the appeals court have. I graduated from the same law school as them. The difference between me and them is their daddy is the former governor, and my daddy was killed in a car wreck. The difference is who's your daddy. That's the difference. So you can get a law license, you can't practice law. You can get a piece of paper and write out to say anything you want to. So I don't know what you're talking about. You can't get an official law license except for through the Tennessee Board of Law Examiners, your state's law examiners. If you don't have that official law license and you can't practice law, they won't let you go in a courtroom. They have armed guards at a courtroom, and the judge will stop you. They'll put you in jail for practicing law without a license. So you can have a paper, but if it's not from them, then you can't practice law. I mean, so I have no idea what you're talking about. You're about half crazy. Some of the people in the comments are too lost. That's exactly true. If the court deemed you untrustworthy, no bar association will give you a license. Yeah, they did while the court was committing a crime of a felony. So the court is untrustworthy. The courts are untrustworthy. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Their propagandas were courts, the Tennessee courts. That's what I'm trying to say. It's very alarming, and maybe open your ears and your eyes up and listening to the holy word of God. Says in the last days perilous times will come. Men will be lovers of their self, fraud, deceitful. Men in the government too, they're deceitful. The people that denied me my law license were committing a felony of dishonesty. At the time they said I was dishonest. I'm dishonest. They lied about me. The Tennessee courts lied about me. The Tennessee courts aren't trustworthy. Your Tennessee courts aren't trustworthy. Your Tennessee roads aren't safe because you have people on the highway patrol that don't know how to protect people. The colonel, Matt Perry, over the highway patrol doesn't have any training in how to protect people. He's got training in how to lie to people, how to protect the governor. They're not worried about protecting you. They're worried about protecting themselves, their power. Our government's gone rogue. War's been declared on them. A symbolic war, a war of truth and propaganda. Do not continue to uphold the legitimacy of an illegitimate government. It's not legitimate. It's false. It's fake. like, subscribe, share. The only profession you don't need a license for, a politician. You do some in order to be sheriff. You have to be a police officer. And Lionel Russell decides whether you're a police officer or not. So they decide who's your sheriff. They decide who can come in your house and kill you with a warrant, legitimate or illegitimate. Charles, are you a Democrat or Republican? I'm neither one. I'm an independent. I vote for the person. I'm not a Democrat or I'm not a Republican. They're parties, and both of them are corrupt as hell. That's what I think. So enjoy the view here, and we'll continue to answer questions. So I'm still recovering from pneumonia. Enjoy the beautiful view with the 1982 Sun Spear. And so let's look at, here's where you get the truth from, in my estimation. You get the truth from the Holy Bible. That's where the truth comes from, right there. And so the Peace Act is passed, signed by Governor Bill Lee, the Protecting Everyone Against Crime and Extremism Peace Act, signed by Governor Bill Lee in May 2025. That's just this year. Expands police authority and creates new criminal penalties related to intimidation, proximity to law enforcement, identification during detention, and distribution of flyers and pamphlets. Leaving unsolicited flyers or pamphlets on public or private property without permission can be charged as littering or trespass. This includes political, religious, or issue-based material. So what that does is that criminalizes posting information against the government, against Bill Lee, unless people ask for it. So what I used to do when I was campaigning for governor, giving information about him, truthful information, is I would knock on the door, and if no one came, then I would put a leaflet on the door handle, just like the governor did, just like all political candidates did. But since he's got in power, now he's made that illegal. So if the person doesn't specifically request your political, even religious material, even material that advertises the plan of salvation, Jesus Christ, unless it's asked for, you can't leave it on their door. They call it littering, where you can't leave it, even if the person wants the material, because people want the material left at their door. They're not there to come to the door. Maybe they don't want to talk to you. They just want you to leave material. But unless they actively accept it, then you can't leave it, which is not constitutional because it violates freedom of speech. Because there are many different ways for people to let you know that they don't want leaflets left on their door. Because if they don't want leaflets on their door, they can have a no trespassing sign on their property, by their door. They can have a sign, don't leave leaflets, or have a gated facility locked. But for him to make it illegal for people that want the material to leave it there is protecting Bill Lee from being the truth told about that criminal. And that's what he is. And he passed that law in May of this year in direct opposition to my political campaign against him. because I passed out 40,000 leaflets all over the state. Now he can put me in jail for 11 months and 29 days and fine me up to $2,500 for leaving information on people's front door in opposition to him. Isn't that pretty crooked? That's crooked as hell. That's crooked as hell. And you can't even leave information like this, talking about the economy and how Governor Bill Lee has destroyed the economy. You can't even leave information like that out. So, which is pretty damn crooked. So, and then the franking is where they send information, positive lies about them to your front door. So they leave litter that you don't ask for. You don't ask for it either. And they mass mail it. And your tax dollars pay for their mass mailing. But I can't leave a response to what they're saying. I can't point out how they're lying to you. I'm not allowed to do that. But I pay for it. I'm not even asking you to pay for it. I'm not even asking you to pay for it. And if you don't like it, you can grab it and throw it away. It's not. Or if you don't want it, you can have a no trespassing sign. It won't be left there. So what a double standard. And they're making it illegal in the United States. Sounds like the United States of Russia, doesn't it? Sounds like Russia. It doesn't sound like American to stop legitimate opposition against a crooked, dirty, nasty, stinchy, alleged Christian governor who won't allow opposition. He makes it illegal in the Peace Act. Notice it's a Peace Act. See, I used to be a police officer. A peace officer. So he stopped somebody that used to be a police officer from posting truthful information about him because he knows that it is pretty detrimental to his lies. So let's read some comments. You're a really nice person. Where are you from? I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee. This does nothing to freedom of speech. What a damn thing to be upset over. It doesn't do anything to freedom of speech. Let me ask you, do you know what freedom of speech is? Freedom of speech is being able to put out information, speech, pamphlets, flyers, leaflets. That's speech. Speech is even conduct, so it is speech. I mean, have a decent argument. Obviously, you never went to law school. It does. It stops opposition. It stops truthful information being presented to people that they could stop if they wanted to. They haven't asked for it to be stopped. Just assuming that they don't want it. Assuming they don't want it because it's something the people in power don't want them to have. Don't want them to have the truth. That's that's stopping freedom of speech. Stopping information presented to people at their doorsteps. That's a violation of the First Amendment. Greetings from Canada. Quick question for you. Would you rather watch a tree grow or... Okay, yeah. Canada, they rely on America pretty much, don't they? Maybe that ought to be another state, like Trump said. Bye to the 35 idiots who like this live. There's more than that on here. And evidently you liked it for a little while. You watched it. Look up Charles Van Morgan was Tennessee state trooper. That's right. I was a good one. A very good state trooper. Their false propaganda that, I was in pursuit of a drunk driver. Oh, he's a dirty trooper in pursuit of a drunk driver. And they used me as an example for somebody that was bad, went out doing their job. How safe does that make you feel? That they use a trooper that was doing his job as a bad trooper. Ought to make you safe in this state. If I were you, I would not come through Tennessee. Troopers that do their job are defamed and fired. So they don't have troopers out doing their job. They have troopers out that arrest you if you're sober now. The man I was in pursuit of was very drunk, wasn't he? Yeah, he killed himself. You said it, old man, the view. What is this, old man? Okay. I'm gone, Glory. I can't listen to this anymore. Okay, good. Bye. Why? Okay. It's amazing how many. Yeah, okay. Okay, you are powerless in the. Okay, so like, share, comment, and we're getting out truthful propaganda against the dirty state government because they're bad for you. And here's real propaganda. Affordability. Prices up 30 to 60% since 2019. Wages barely moved. Housing is now a luxury. Groceries up 32%. Child care up 30%. Healthcare premiums skyrocketing since substandard. People aren't broke because they're bad with money. They're broke because the government's stealing. Because the government is stealing your money and using it for illegitimate purposes. So we're trying to get out a little truth today. I'm talking to you about how the government is squelching your right, is stopping your right to put out the truth and stopping the First Amendment. How the government's stopping people from putting out truthful information about the crooked government, and at the same time using your tax money to put out their lies. They passed the Peace Act that stops me from putting out information against Governor Bill Lee, and that I even pay for. He won't let me disseminate a free message to you. That there are multiple ways, if you don't want the message, that you can stop me from delivering the message. You can put a no trespassing sign. You can tell me don't come on your property. You can lock your gate. But I should be able to, and under the Constitution, to pass out truthful information. And there's also a lot of laws. I can't pass out defamation. I can't pass out violent information that is. I can't threaten lawless intimate action or incite lawless intimate action. Those laws are already on the books. But you can't do that. And so there's laws against that. There's laws against passing out material that is racist, that incites lawless intimate action. You can't do that. And now Governor Bill Lee, under the pretext of the Peace Act, has made a law where you cannot pass out leaflets. They call it littering. They call it littering. And he even that you pay for, he passes out information that you pay for to people's doorsteps, but he won't let the public pass out information. So only the government, only his government that he's illicitly got in power falsely, can pass out information on people's doorsteps. Only the government can pass out their lies, and people passing out the truth in opposition to people in government power can't pass out the truth. Now that's the seriousness of what we're fighting in the state of Tennessee, the lawlessness of our government and our government officials that are passing out deceitful information that are dangerous to you, that are crooked as hell, and we can't pass out the truth about them. They've made it against the law in the Peace Act. That's what your governor has done, because he don't want the truth out. You can't even pass out Christian material. They call it littering. But he can pass out anti-Christian material, and you pay for it. You have to pay for his propaganda, and he won't let us pass out the truth. That's the state of Tennessee. right now under an alleged Christian governor. It's a very violent and dangerous state. A very violent and dangerous place to live. I think one of the most dangerous places in the United States of America is the state of Tennessee. We shouldn't defund the police. We need to fund the police. We need the National Guard here. We need more protection. We need protection from the government. They're the most dangerous people in society, is people in government power that use their positions, their criminaloids, to violate the public trust. So the goal of this channel remains to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ and to protect our constitutional rights so that we can spread the gospel. So no matter what persuasion of life you're in, our second goal is one that you should agree with and take part in, because that protects your right to spread whatever information you want and to have your constitutional rights protected. Because the government has gone rogue in the state of Tennessee. The government has turned violent against us. The government is bought and paid for by a power elite group that is crooked as hell, that will put you in jail when you didn't commit a crime, that will adjudicate falsehoods, that's making it dangerous on Tennessee roadways. They promote people that have no training or education in how to provide for public safety on the roadways. This state, Tennessee, is the most dangerous state in the nation on the roadways. I wouldn't even drive through this state. It is so dangerous, horrific. Got people in high positions of public power that don't know how to make the road safe. They get hurt in car wrecks themselves. It is such a dangerous place, a dangerous state, and they have, by their abomination, taken government power and invading our government. They have decimated it. It's abomination of desolation, symbolically as spoken of by Daniel the prophet. They have decimated our state and our institutions, our roads that are set up full of lies and hypocrisy. And it is so dangerous to Tennesseans. So in the news, Andrew Jackson, a Knoxville judge, retired yesterday. And I know Andrew Jackson. When I was a police officer, I had several cases with him. He was a prosecutor. And a lot of these judges are prosecutors before they're judges. How well does that go over? They're state prosecutors. They already work for the government. And then the governor promotes them to judge. They're already in their mind, in their mindset, is to prosecute Tennesseans. And then the governor gives them the power of a judgeship to further prosecute you from the bench. How wicked is that? Another prosecutor was just named to the judiciary here in Knoxville. A prosecutor from the Attorney General's office just promoted to Andrew Jackson's place. Up for election in 2026. Vote no to retain her. Vote no to retain her. Vote no in all these judiciary elections. Vote them out. Send them a message. Send them a message to vote no. So Judge Andrew Jackson was the prosecutor when I was a police officer back in my 20s. We stopped a car. I stopped a car. We got a call at Southern Avenue Apartments that somebody was shooting up car windows with a BB gun. Somebody's driving through the apartment complex, shooting up people's cars with a BB gun. All at Southern Avenue Apartments off Southern Avenue. Used to be Southern Avenue Apartments, now I think it's a soccer field. But it was off-campus housing for Southern Avenue Apartments. So we got the call out there. We got the call out there to go to Southern Avenue Apartments. Somebody, pretty horrific. I'd like to walk out in the morning to your car and the windshield be shot up, windows busted out from a BB gun. So we went out there and And as I was driving through the parking lot, I looked at all the busted windows, and I seen a truck, but I didn't actually see them firing BB shots at the cars, but it just drove past some cars that had the windows busted out, and it was private property. So I stopped the truck in the parking lot of Southern Avenue Apartments and got all the people out of the car, patted them down, and under the front driver's seat floorboard was a BB gun. So I charged all of them with shooting up with vandalism, shooting up the parking lot. They shot up several cars in the parking lot, and I stopped them based on that just happening and then being on private property, and it was marked private property, no trespassing private property. Had a sign. Now no one was told, but there was a sign out there. So, and charged them all. I stopped the car based on them being on private property and that crime just occurring, although I did not see it. But it was reasonable for me to suspect that they were committing a crime because the windows, they were moving in the parking lot, the only car there, and it was private property. So I stopped them and got them out of the car and seen the BB gun in the front floorboard and charged them all with vandalism of the numerous cars in the parking lot that were shot up. Doing my job. Put them in jail. And what happened was Andrew Jackson here, a Knoxville prosecutor at the time, was the prosecutor in the case, and he remember telling me this is a loser case. That's what he said. I'm like, why? And he said, because I didn't see them shooting out the windows, and just because they had a BB gun didn't mean they were the one doing it. And he didn't think we could prove the case. And from my perspective, you know, they shot up several people's windows, and they were in the parking lot, and they had the gun, and it just so try to get them prosecuted. And he did. And this is Andrew Jackson. He was a prosecutor at the time. So he presented the case to the judge, and they pled not guilty. It was about 3 or 4 of them pled not guilty. And remember, they were stopped in the parking lot with a BB gun on private property, no trespassing, and several windows shot up. And it was about 4 o'clock in the morning, no one out, except they were the only car out. They said they didn't do it. And it is possible that they didn't. They had a BB gun in the front seat and were driving right past where cars had just been shot out, although I didn't see them do it. Now, I don't lie under oath. I was going to lie and said I seen them do it. I could have lied. A lot of cops say I've seen them shooting at them. And I said, but I wouldn't do that. I didn't actually see them do it. I gave the information that I had based on the truth. If the case fell, it fell. That's the way I handle things. Somebody got away that did something that they shouldn't have done, rather than lie about somebody and get somebody convicted when they didn't do it. If I didn't see them doing it, I wouldn't see them doing it. I told the evidence I had. I stopped them. They were in the parking lot 4 o'clock, seen windows busted out. They were the only car in the area on private property. I told the truth. Did not see them doing it. No, wouldn't lie. Yeah, people at the top of THP, or they'll lie and get people convicted, didn't do anything. So the judge, prosecutor Andrew Jackson at the time, he went on to be a criminal general sessions court judge, and the argument was over. The argument was over that I have probable cause to make the arrest, and there was a sign there that said no trespassing, and they had no family or reason to be on the property. They didn't live there. They had no reason to be there. But had I not stopped them, I wouldn't have known that. So that's information I had after the fact that I'm not allowed to use for the initial stop, because I can't say I know you're not allowed to be here because I didn't know that. So that wasn't the reason for the stop. The reason for the stop was it was private property. We got that call of cars being shot up. And the reason for the arrest was I found the BB gun. The cars were shot out by a BB gun in the front passenger floorboard. So I believe that they did it. But the legal system works to protect innocent people. It's supposed to. And the no trespassing sign is not enough to warn people not to come on your property, because of the fact, and I'll finish this, I'm getting over pneumonia, so give me a break. Help me out, spread this message, like, share, comment. So a no trespassing sign, you can have a no trespassing sign at your house. That's not enough. If somebody's on private, it comes on your property, that's not enough to have them arrested. It's not, because they may not have seen it. They may not have seen it. So in order for no trespassing, and that's a charge I charge them with also, a person has to have notice that they weren't allowed on the property. And no trespassing sign is not enough, because you can't prove that they've seen the sign. And that's a interesting legal phenomenon. If you have a no trespassing sign on your property, somebody walks on your property, you can't call the cops and have them hauled off to jail, because they may not have seen the sign. They haven't had notice that you can prove. The notice has to be proved. Notice means that they have to know. And you have to be able to prove that they know that they weren't supposed to trespass. So if somebody walks on your property, they don't see the sign, they didn't have notice. If somebody walks on your property and they see the sign, but they won't tell you that they've seen the sign, you still can't have them. You still can't have them arrested, because you can't prove that they have notice. So a no trespassing sign was not enough to, even though I knew after the fact they had no reason to be there, but I didn't know that before the stop. It's based on what you know before the stop. So the judge threw out the initial stop, because notice would require, and we did this later, for me to warn them that your own private property, you have no reason to be here, and to give them official notice that you can't come back. You can't come back to this property. So that is documented. They have been told. It wasn't just a sign. So the case rose and fell on the fact that you don't have to have justice for Kyle Anito. Kyle Anito got his justice. He died in a drunken driving wreck he caused himself. Charles Van Morgan won that fight. Kyle Anito got justice. He got what he asked for. He was killed in a drunk driving wreck. So if you think that's going to fire people up, justice for Kyle Anito. He got justice. He's dead. He didn't hurt anybody else, thank goodness. That was out of all the results from what that violent man did. He's a violent man. From what he did, he got justice. He got what he asked for. That's right. So justice was served. Would you want a drunk driver to go home to kill somebody innocent? Is that what you wanted a drunk driver to do? I'd say justice for you, Coach Starch. Justice for you. Promoting evil and wickedness. Justice for you. How about that? I pray justice is done for you. You don't like that, do you? I pray the truth comes out about you, exposes who you're hiding behind. Kyle Anito got justice. It was served. He served it to himself. So yeah, good. That's right. Justice for Kyle Anito. How about justice for Charles Van Morgan? Defamed by crooked, sorry-ass dirtbags like you. People that run for me don't fare too well. And I'm not running, Coach Dart. You're the one running in line. Just like Kyle Anito was running in line. Might not work out well for you. Might not work out too well for you. You got that? So Judge Andrew or he was a prosecutor at the time. The judge dismissed the case based on based on that they weren't warned to stay off the property, that I didn't have reason for the stop, so they dismissed the case. And they didn't get convicted of shooting out the car windows, and I didn't lie, said I seen them do it. And who knows, they may not have done it, but I at least sent the message. They went to jail for the night, and they were given a warning to not come back to the property anymore. So we did the best we could and follow the law. But that's what Andrew Jackson, he tried to prosecute a case, did the best he could. But let's just face it, he got promoted to judge, and he wasn't a very good judge. He wasn't a very good judge here in Knox County. He wasn't fair. Judge Andrew Jackson here in Knox County wasn't a fair judge. I've been questioned by attorneys when I'd bring in drunk drivers, attorneys by him, when Andrew Jackson was sitting on the bench, and he said he wanted to be known for a fair judge. I'm a citizen of Knox County, and I know they say I'm not candid. That's why they say I'm not candid, because they don't like my candor. They would say I was candid if I was in favor of Judge Andrew Jackson. Said, oh, he's a great man. The judicial system's so legitimate, kind, and fair. No, it's not. No, it's not. They don't like my candor. It's not I'm not candid. They want to shut up any opposition, want you to praise the powers that be, and I'm not going to do that. That wouldn't be right. Judge Andrew Jackson backed up his buddies in the legal system and allowed them to unjustifiably defame and say insulting things about police officers trying to make the road safer while he was a judge sitting on the bench. He allowed unethical, nasty, dirty questions insulting the police officers that got somebody drunk off the road protecting society. That's what Andrew Jackson did. So Andrew Jackson, you weren't a good judge. I don't have respect for you. You weren't a respectable person. Let's face it, you got judged because your forefathers were president of the United States. But celebrity doesn't make you honest or good. It makes you live off other people's good works, and you didn't do right. You didn't do good. You weren't a good judge, I don't think, and that's my opinion of you. And I'll tell that to everybody that wants to believe me. You should have done a better job than what you did. You, hi from Italy. Hello, Italy. You backed up people. You backed up the establishment. You backed up other crooked attorneys, and you didn't apply the law fairly. You allowed me at times to get talked down to for providing protection for the public. You didn't make it a legitimate, fair courtroom. You made it a courtroom that backed up the illegitimate legal system. That's what you did. You're part of a corrupt, crooked system, and you're not going to hide behind. In my world, Charles, you are in my top 10 people for people I despise, living or deceased. I don't care. Oh, that makes me mad. Good, a lot of people hate me. Wait in line, take a number if you don't like me. A lot of people do. This is unbridled news. This isn't news to pacify pieces of shit like you. So, I don't care. Good, thank you. So Judge Jackson was not a good judge. He was not a good judge at all. He was a judge that backed up the illegitimacy of people in government power. That's what he did. That's what I think. And I sat under his court when he was a prosecutor, and I will give him that. He did try to prosecute the case where somebody shot up car windows, did the best he could. He was a company man. He backed up the bar, the illegitimate bar. Here in Knoxville in the state of Tennessee, the bar is illegitimate in the state of Tennessee. They protect who gets in the court system, won't let people in the court system substantially that will defend your constitutional rights, which I would have done. So I'm a lawyer. I'm just not a licensed lawyer. Can't defend you in court. I can sure defend myself. They're useless. Courts about a joke to go to anyway. You'll get whatever ruling the governor tells them to. And he promotes people that don't know how to do their job. So Judge Andrew Jackson is not a good judge. He's not a good man. Didn't adjudicate fairly. And I won't remember him as a good judge. He should have been fair and honest and adjudicated for the public and not backed up the crooked bar in the state of Tennessee. That's what I think. And I'm allowed to say that. I don't give a damn who you are or who your daddy was. My father's in heaven. And because the Bible teaches that God is a father of the fatherless. I didn't have a father. So, and God will protect me from rogue, dirty, pathetic judges that adjudicate for the governor and adjudicate for the crooked system and step on the constitutional rights of the mass populace of citizens. And I'm on your side. They're not on your side. They're not on your side. That's the reason why they got bots in here. That's the reason why they got liars in here that are worried about what I'm saying. Because I'm exposing, shining a light on their crooked. I'm like a lighthouse. It's not about me. I'm not shining light on me. I'm shining a lighthouse light to where you can see how crooked these people are. And what we can do about it is we can organize, no matter if you're a Republican, no matter if you're a Democrat, the mass populace of Tennesseans, and we can vote. We can vote. Voters of truth enraged. And look at what they say. It's usually the exact opposite. And vote these people out of office. Get our government offices back to serving the people and not serving themselves, regardless of what they say. When they stand up in a church and say they have Christian values, that's because they don't have Christian values. That's because they want to portray an image of something that they're not in order to get your vote. When they say they care about immigrants, they don't. They care about giving them legal status and giving them power so they can get their vote. When they say they care about the economy, that's because they've wrecked the economy so much that they know it's a selling point, that they're going to try to make it better, when they're the very reason why the economy has gone to hell. So what we can do, and this is what they hate me saying, they'd like to find a reason to put me in jail. What we can do about what they're doing to us is we can vote. Go to the polls, and these people in office, vote them out. And vote your core values. Don't listen to what people say. If they violate your core values, if they want abortion on demand, don't vote for them. Don't vote for them. And if they want to defund the police, don't vote for them. Don't vote for them. If they want to pass laws that stop your constitutional right of putting out information against them through the Peace Act, don't vote for them. Don't vote for these people. So I am looking into who would be the best candidate for governor in the state of Tennessee. And hello, all these people saying hi. It's not just that. Okay, so I'm looking into who may be the best candidate for governor in the state of Tennessee. And we're going to have to pick the worst of the best of the worst. They're all pretty crooked. One of them's worried about protecting a piece of land on the interstate, and the other ones are getting rich off government power, and they're all in power now, so that'll tell you a lot. Hello. So Kentucky's a shithole. Well, probably, and Tennessee is no better. So broadcasting worldwide, Charles Van Morgan Show. Thank y'all for coming. And the way we can fight them, and I'm recovering from pneumonia. Every time I say that, my views go down. Have a little sympathy. Help me out by liking and sharing and subscribing and helping me spread the channel to get people to vote and see the truth about how they call evil good. People in government power are evil. They call it good. And they call Charles Van Morgan should be in prison. What for? For protecting society? Maybe you ought to pay me money for defamation. Why should I be in prison for? I haven't committed any crime, never committed any crime, never been convicted of any crime. I'm speaking the truth, and you're on my channel trying to defame me. You're about a pathetic piece of dirt. What kind of education do you have? Do you have a doctor of jurisprudence? Do you have any basis for anything you're saying? Oh, that's real cool. That's real. I'm a politician. Oh, I'll be in prison. Why don't you state some reasons why I ought to be in prison? Maybe I shouldn't be in prison, that you're just a dirty scumbag liar that's got the nerve to try to chase somebody that doesn't run. So you better watch out what you bite off. Might be bigger than you can chew, you stupid fool. There's a lot of fools in this world, and they think we'll go away. No, we put out truthful information. So I'm recovering from pneumonia. I can't go to the doctor. I can't go to the hospital. I went to the doctor because the state of Tennessee, Major Stacey Heatherly, Lionel Russell, took away my medical insurance from me and my family by lies and deception, trying to kill me. They tried to kill me. In effect, there's more than one way to kill somebody. You can hold a gun to their head and pull the trigger, or you can defame them, show where they live, put their picture on the front page of the paper with lies about them for weeks and years, put falsehoods about them, and take away their future. And that's pretty much killing them. It's murder. It's defamation. It's one of the 10 Commandments. Don't bear false witness. It's right after murder. It's the same thing. But I'm not afraid. I trust in God, and I pray to God every day that God restores my reputation and corrects their wrong and shows who they are. And if you look, you don't have to look real close. You can already tell who they are. They say I'm a dirty, evil, violent, dangerous person, and somebody just said that needs to be in jail. You can look at my credentials alone, the life I've lived. When I was on the highway patrol, I led the whole state in providing public safety. That's a fact. Lowell Russell was on the road. He did not do that. He didn't do that. I have a doctor of jurisprudence, a master of arts in criminology. Lowell Russell's a lawmaker. He doesn't have any legal education. I do, pass the bar. I can't get my law license because somebody that doesn't have a law license defamed me. Now, I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Lowell Russell didn't pass the bar exam. He never will pass the bar exam. He doesn't have to. People in government power are given stuff. It's taken away from you, the mass populace. It's not just me. They lie to you all across the state. Every home, city, and county in the state of Tennessee. They take stuff away from you, the mass populace. I'm talking about people that aren't in government power. People that don't lie for the governor, the Christian governor. If you're sitting in your church, they don't care about you. They lied to you to get your vote. They take stuff away from you, and give it to them, their family and friends, their little corrupt clique. That's what they do to you in Tennessee. That's what they do. And they brand you and say you're something that you're not. They will. And claim to be something that they're not, and give themselves advantages that they haven't worked for, earned, or deserved. That's the Tennessee that Governor Bill Lee has created for himself and his children. And it's an abomination. It's an abomination what they've done to our government offices in the state of Tennessee. They are so corrupt. They are so crooked. They are so demonic, evil, wicked is what they are. Deceptive. They lie to you, and they're taking away what you've got. You know, you think if you work hard and go to school, get an education, do well in your profession, then you'll reap the benefits of that. No, you won't. They'll take it away from you. They're evil, wicked person that are out to destroy, maim, and kill, and try to destroy everything you work for. And if you don't think that's true, go to the grocery store. Do you think that inflation is just a natural phenomenon that happens? I mean, they have made it easier to make food. Automation, computers, they can make food. They can have farms and produce mass amounts of food and get it to a grocery cheaper than they ever have been in the history of mankind. If anything, inflation should stay at a minimal level of increasing, a very small level, because things have went down. The cost of making things, the cost of automation, knowledge has increased so that it is cheaper to make things. And just naturally through the flow of things, things do increase a small amount, which they're really not increasing just the prices because people would be making more money. But what they have done is they have raped the system where they're taking so much.
Need a ride?
I'm good. How you doing?
Fine.
You want me to put you on camera? I'm broadcasting live on YouTube. Don't do that. I want that. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. Holler at me.
Okay. See you.
Take care. Watch my show. Are you a fan? Just say you're a fan.
Yeah, is it on YouTube?
Yeah, say go Van.
Go Van.
There you go. So yeah, I got some fans. So nice car. So what they have done, so I got a bunch of fans. What they have done is they have taken the money that should be in decrease of prices, or at least keeping the same, and used it for themselves. They even use your money to prove lies that benefit them. Your money. Their court system is set up to benefit the governor. It's not set up for justice. It's not set up to uphold the Constitution. It's not set up for fairness and right. Andrew Jackson's courthouse, it's set up to benefit them, to benefit the people in power, to benefit lawyers so they can get more of your money. They even made a mandatory law where you have to get insurance, more and more insurance, because attorneys need more and more money, where they can fake more and more wrecks, more and more damages, where they get more and more money out of their pockets. The richest people in Tennessee are the ones that can advertise. Who do you see more advertisements for than any profession in the state? Attorneys got their name on billboards all over the state. How they get the money to advertise? From your money, you pay into insurance, and then it goes through the courthouse doors back into their pockets. I mean, it's a rigged system for them to benefit. They're a bunch of dirty, nasty, lying leeches. And something needs to be done, and I'm fixing to do it. We're less powerful, not powerless. And we also have help from God. God helps people that do right. I assure you, I know that he does. And sometimes God works in mysterious ways. And sometimes you don't see immediate results. And sometimes you may think that God's not working. But I assure you, let me promise you, that God does hear and God does answer prayer. And God expects people to do what they can do. One of them is to open your ears and open your eyes and watch what the hell is going on. Look at the price of food. It is not by accident, it is by design, because people are robbing the system. I mean, you go into a bank and your money's gone that you put in there. You expected it to go higher. Why is the money gone? It's because a bank robber went in there the night before and took all the money out. He stole it. It's not there due to theft. It didn't just by attrition just fly out the window. Somebody stole it. A bank robber stole it. Your inflation, you go to the store. Why is the price of food so high? Why does it cost so much more of your money? It didn't happen by attrition. The prices just didn't go up by sheer surprise. A bank robber stole it. People in government power took your money. They taxed the hell out of it. They used your court systems to prove lies, to go into attorneys' pockets that have made it higher for you to live. Unless we do something about that, by putting out truthful propaganda, and they're trying to get us to stop us from putting out truthful propaganda against them by making it illegal to advertise the truth, by making it illegal to chase the bank robber. You're not allowed to point out who the bank robber is. The bank robber is Governor Bill Lee and his entourage. He's a crook, he's a thief, he's a fraud, he's a scumbag. He won't even say the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, whom he professes to quote his words. Why is that? It's not mysterious by sheer accident. It's by design. He wants to appeal to everyone. He wants to mislead people. There's only one way to salvation. That's through the Lord Jesus Christ. Let me hear Bill Lee say that. That's not popular, so he's not going to say it. I don't care if what I'm saying is not popular. What I am saying is the truth, and it will help and protect all Tennesseans, not just the people at the top. It's very damaging to the people at the top because it's the truth. They've done this to themselves. And I'm just pointing out how crooked and how dirty and nasty and how sick and pathetic these people are. Criminaloids. Let's vote them out. One person to vote out is Kimberly Ogle. Her brother's running for sheriff in Sevier County. You vote for her brother, I guarantee you, people will be committing crimes, and she'll speak to her brother and they'll get out of jail free, because she's done that before. She had a friend that stole money from people. She used her name in the Highway Patrol. Listen to defamation history. She used her name as a state trooper, several other troopers, Derek Watson, Michael Turdy. Yeah, how you doing, Derek? You're retired now. You're a big old man, ain't you? You're not big enough for me, boy. You're not big enough for me. You ain't never met a dog like me, boy. You better leave me the hell alone, you nasty thug. That pathetic piece of shit. What a dirtbag he is. Thinks highly of himself. Yeah. You ain't never met nobody till you met me. You better leave me alone. You better let me speak, because you might find yourself in a bind. Derek Watson, the lieutenant of THPP. Wow. Tried to call me the other day. I don't even answer his damn call. I don't want to listen to a pathetic, lumpy liar. So that's the people get promoted. But don't vote for Kimberly Ogle. Her brother. She helped a lady that defrauded money talk to the judge using the Highway Patrol, Derek Watson and Michael Turdy. And if you don't want me to run you down, Derek, then change your attitude. You stupid liar, backing up an agency that's pathetic. Your agency's pathetic. So she wrote a letter to a judge helping somebody that stole people's money, somebody that robbed a bank, symbolically robbed a bank. She robbed people. That's not symbolic. She stole people's money, defrauded people's money out of them. Kimberly Ogle wrote the judge a letter, got her a reduced sentence, and she went on to steal more people's money, using the Highway Patrol, using THPP to get somebody out of a crime, one of her friends. So if you elect her brother, Sheriff Ogle, and she's trying to get him elected in Sevier County, send this out to people in Sevier County. If she wants somebody to get out of a crime, if she wants somebody comes to your house and steals your money, takes your money, they put them in jail. Kim Ogle, they're friends of Kim Ogle. She'll go to her brother's sheriff and say, let them out of jail. Those are my friends. Come on, let them out. And her brother might well let them out. So I wouldn't elect her brother's sheriff. They're a dirty bunch. She was on a witness list that was going to testify against me. And I didn't do anything wrong. So she was going to testify against a completely innocent person, not guilty of any crime. And she was going to, or any crime or civil wrong. I wasn't. And she was going to help. And she did, in fact, help somebody that defrauded money, helped them in a reduced sentence. And they went on to even commit a further crime after she put her name in the hat with Derek Watson and Michael Turdy. So that's what you'll get as a sheriff. So don't vote for Mr. Ogle. Don't vote for Mr. Ogle. Now, he could correct that out. He could defy and point out what his sister did. Ask him about what his sister did and see if he's going to cooperate with his sister in getting people out of crimes to steal more money from Sevier Countyans. I mean, they buy elections. They have a lot of money. But money doesn't mean truth, and that money doesn't mean honesty. I don't have a lot of money, but I'm very truthful and honest. And I'm not running a popularity contest. I'm running a populist agenda that's good for you. Maybe stuff you don't want to hear. But it's stuff you need to hear. It's stuff that's the truth. Don't vote for Ogle. And I have people that I know that live in Sevier County. I'm not going to point them out because Ogles in the sheriff's department might do bad stuff about them, against them. If you don't think the government's dangerous and will retaliate violently against you, you're wrong. They will. They have beat me up and put me in jail, put me in a hospital. I mean, these are violent, dangerous thugs. They're criminaloids. They're not out for your good. They're out to maintain power by any means they can, legal or illegal, legitimate or illegitimate. And they lie. They lie. They're not telling the truth. And anybody that stands up against them that tells the truth, the honest to God truth, that believes in the truth, that believes in the Constitution, that believes in your rights, that has a history of doing right, that has a history of protecting society, they try to defame and demoralize me falsely. But they're not going to get it done because I'm not afraid to stand up and speak the truth. to power, not to them. I could care less what they think. I know what they think. It's a lie. Everything they think, everything comes out of their mouth is 99.9% a lie. And I'm not speaking to them. We're at war with them symbolically. That time is over. I'm speaking to the power. Truth to power means truth to the mass civilians, the mass Tennesseans. And the way we're going to beat them is to vote. It's not through violence, not violence. God hates violence. They don't hate violence. That's how you know they're godless. They love violence. They love to hurt people. I mean, there's killings at their jails, killings in society with fake, frivolous warrants. Your lives are in danger, your very lives of yourself. And if you don't care about yourself, your children and your loved ones are in danger in the state of Tennessee because of the people in power in government at this very moment right now. Now, they're not telling you that. Sure, they're not telling you that. The enemy's not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you that. They're going to put out information and tell you what they're doing to help you. And they're not helping you. They are hurting you. They're breadcrumbing you. They want to keep enough people alive to benefit them. And they want to destroy people and not allow them to publish the truth, people that'll speak out against what they are doing. They're wicked and evil as hell and dirty and nasty and are not above any atrocious act. They will commit murder. They will commit awful acts of violence and defamation. They will threaten intimate, lawless action and get by with it and won't let the public publish the truth, publish protection information to try to protect the public against their violent, lawless, intimate action. That's what they do under a Christian banner. That's how they do it. And they think that we are powerless. And no, we're not. No, we're not. The first objective of this mission is to present the gospel of Jesus Christ. The second one is to protect our constitutional rights so that we can present that truth, and to protect the public, the mass populace in the state of Tennessee. Now, their academies to put out truthful propaganda. And I wanted to mention this. Their academies, they're proud of their academies. They run off a lot of people, and they want to act like they got the best academy in the world because they hire 100 and graduate 50. And let me tell you about their academies. I know they're going to hate this. I graduated from 3 of their academies. Graduated from Donaldson Law Enforcement Training Academy. Donaldson Law Enforcement Training Academy in 1990. And which was a good academy. They teach the law. They had lawyers teaching the class. And then I graduated when I got on with the Commercial Enforcement, Tennessee Highway Patrol from Commercial Enforcement Academy. And the only thing you learn at that academy is how to kiss the ring. It's a pathetic academy. And then I graduated from the Tennessee State Highway Patrol Trooper Academy. So I spent 8 months at their pathetic academy they got there on Donaldson Pike, which is the dumbest. They got the dumbest instructors. They're dumb as a rock. None of them significantly have an education. They got foreigners from other countries that are illegal aliens that they're protecting in that academy. They got illegal aliens teaching Americans how to mistreat Americans, people from other countries. That's what they got at that academy. Now, they had a man at the academy that went home on the first weekend. The first week, they literally talk to you like a dog, mistreat you, and make you not want to come back, and a lot of people don't. And make it real hard to try to make it seem like this is a great academy. The more abusive they are, they think it's a better academy. That's how stupid they are. Why don't they just teach the law and the facts? Because they want to teach you to worship the brass. That's what that academy's about. Worship the governor, worship the brass. You can be dumb as a doorknob. You do what you're told every time, even if it's wrong. We don't care. That's what they teach you. That's stupid academy. So a man went home on the weekend, and this is what they hate. I know they do. And he told a bunch of his fellow troopers that the academy was easy. There wasn't no trouble at all. It was an easy academy. That made them mad because that's not the image they want to present. They want to present this a difficult academy, and you can't get through that academy unless you're the best of the best. And the truth is, it's an abusive academy. It's full of idiots. It's full of stupid people. I graduated 2 times from there. They didn't run me off. I didn't care what they said. They're stupid. I did what I had to do to get through their stupid academy. They don't like you saying that. I was more educated than the instructors. They made fun of me because I had an education. A man from another country that wasn't even born here, doesn't have a birth certificate, doesn't have a selective service registration, made fun of me because he's teaching for his country in America. That's what they allow happen in that stupid academy. So he came back and said it was easy academy, and which made the instructors and the people at the academy mad. The image that they want to project is it's an outstanding academy, best in the state, best in the United States. No, it's not. It's the dirtiest, crookedest, stupidest bunch of thugs that don't know what the hell they're doing for the most part. Well, there's one or two of them that do. So he came back and they got wind. They got wind that he had said that about their dumbass academy, their stupid academy. That they got people teaching that don't know what they're talking about. They have no clue as to what they're talking about. So they got wind of that first Monday morning of the second week. They got him in there, and they said, we heard you talk to some of your trooper friends at this easy academy. And they said, if that's what you think, then you get your ass up and get the hell out of here. We don't want you here. Talk to him. They spent about an hour circling around him in front of the whole class, trying to intimidate him, cussing him out, telling him he was stupid, ignorant, that it wasn't an easy academy. So it made him mad that somebody said that academy was easy and it wasn't hard. He didn't even say anything bad about it. He just said it was easy. And they didn't want to hear that, so it made him mad. So let me tell you what. I think it's Captain Lowry now. You damn pathetic little sissy man joke. Your academy is a joke. I survived 8 months of it. 2 academies. I got certificates of 2 years. I mean, I graduated. You can say, well, he's not smart. I graduated 2 times from your little joke. You're a joke. You're high up in the chain of command in THPP that was over that academy, and you have no significant education, know what the hell you're talking about. You're a dumbass. And if you wasn't protected by holding people's jobs over their head, they would whoop your little nasty, little skinny, puny butt. And I don't work for your academy now. You don't pay my bills. And I'm not here out on the street, big boy. You little sissy. He's afraid of people. He's a coward, little Captain Lowry. What a joke, pathetic he is. Shoot a man out for an hour for calling that academy a joke. Mr. Captain Lowry, your academy's a damn joke. I got certificates. I graduated from your damn joke. You don't learn a damn thing at your academy. You learn how to be stupid. And you're stupid. And your Tennessee Highway Patrol Academy's a dumbass academy. The only reason why you don't get your ass whooped by cadets is they want their paycheck. But if you was out here in the real world instead of protected by liars and state government, you'd get your little pathetic ass whooped. So they don't like you saying that their academy is a bunch of crap. You don't learn anything. They teach stuff foreigners are teaching that class. They don't have a right to be here. This is a fact. They had an illegal alien teaching at the Tennessee Highway Patrol Academy. An illegal alien that was not even an American citizen that was teaching classes at the academy in the Tennessee Highway Patrol. Illegal. Wasn't born here. Didn't have legal status. Didn't have a birth certificate. Didn't have a service registration. Teaching people from a foreign perspective what troopers ought to do. Wow, that's how nasty your stupid, low-life, pathetic academy is. And if you think I'm afraid of you, then you can think all day long. I know you don't think right because you're a total idiot. Captain Lowry, what a dumbass you are. What a stupid academy you have. So they don't like me running down their academy. They don't like other people saying how easy it is. I remember it's so pathetic. Part of their training to learn how to work wrecks. They don't really teach you how to work wrecks. They don't teach you about maybe all wrecks, at least not enough significantly. They don't teach you all wrecks maybe aren't wrecks. Maybe they're a homicide and somebody put them in a car and then pushed them off a curb to make it appear like a wreck. So they murder somebody and try to cover it up. So some dumb trooper, because they don't teach you enough of that. So some dumb trooper that hasn't been taught appropriately will work a murder, just because somebody's put a murder victim in a car, think that they died in a car wreck. That's what they'll do. And that's what they did. In Blount County, a trooper worked a car wreck. That was a murder, and then they put him in a car, pushed him off the hill, worked that car wreck as a murder, because they don't teach you in the academy to figure out, to do appropriate investigations. They don't know what they're doing. They're the dumbest organization, the dumbest law enforcement agency, and I've graduated from 3 that I ever been to. The most corrupt, stupid people in the Tennessee Highway Patrol Academy. Don't teach you how to work wrecks. You can cover up a murder in Tennessee. Put your dead body in a car, run it down a hill. A trooper will go out, and he will think it's a murder. He will think it's a wreck, that somebody died in a wreck. That's what happened in Blount County. A murderer got several weeks ahead away until the family complained about it, because troopers don't know how to work wrecks. Basic things that troopers should do. All the THPP is traffic cops. They're not real law enforcement. They don't work domestic disputes. They don't work bar fights. They're a bunch of sissies that run around in patrol cars and do traffic enforcement. You know, that's all they do. They don't know how to do, and they don't even know how to do that. They're supposed to be experts in DUI enforcement, and they're out arresting innocent people. They got to get their numbers out. They can't figure out how to really arrest drunk drivers, so they arrest innocent people. So if you come through Tennessee, you're stone cold sober, a trooper hasn't been able to find a real drunk driver, that are out here all over the place. That's how stupid they are. Uh-oh, a wreck. A wreck. So, let's hope nobody's hurt. So we'll film some news right live on the scene, right here. So see what the heck's going on. So we got some live news on the scene. A wreck has happened at an intersection I just walked past. So I wasn't there. So what? Let's watch live news. We're out here live. A wreck has happened right here at the intersection of James White Parkway and Moody. So hopefully nobody's hurt. So let's show you here. So wow. I hope nobody's hurt. So yeah, it looks like everybody's okay. So the intersection of Moody and intersection of James White Parkway and Sevierville Pike. So yeah, it's dangerous to be out and have a car wreck. Wow. We're live on the scene of a wreck. Oh, yeah. So it looks like everybody's.
Damn it.
Looks like everybody's all right. We probably have the police on the way. Wow. What a collision. So it looks like everybody's all right, live on the scene. News happens everywhere all the time. So I'm not sure what happened. Looks like almost a head-on collision here at the intersection. Fortunately, everybody's all right. There's the driver of one car, and there's the driver of another. We'll probably stand by here till the police arrive on the scene and get the heck out of here. All I heard was a crash. There you go. Let me back out. So yeah, there we go. Police on the scene. We're good. I don't think anybody's hurt, but yeah, news live on the scene. So there we go. Take out of here. Cops show up. Yeah. Yeah, they're there to help people, aren't they? So yeah, we're broadcasting live, Charles Van Morgan, Unbridled News. So there we go. So you see the fire truck protects the scene. You see the fire truck protects the scene. That's what happened in the wreck I worked where a tractor trailer slammed into the fire truck and demolished the scene. So we'll present another story tomorrow. Charles Van Morgan, Unbridled News, live on the scene. Just happened to show up on the scene of a wreck that happened. I heard the collision, and looked like everybody was all right. Looks like almost a head-on collision. I can't tell from the scene. Somebody's probably, somebody's not yielded the right of way. like they should have. So we will finish the dialogue tomorrow. Thank y'all for showing up. This is Charles Van Morgan, Charles Van Morgan Show. Live news on the scene wherever it happens. And we are putting out truth and propaganda against the state of Tennessee. There's people in power in the state of Tennessee. And you can help us do that. The way you can help us do that is helps the algorithm, share the video to your friends, and subscribe to the channel, and also, of course, watch the channel, comment, and actively participate in elections. Vote for your core values, regardless of individual likes and dislikes. What's your core values? Because that's the legislation and the stuff they'll pass. So you're going to have to help us, step up and help, because they are stopping us passing laws, the Peace Act, to get out truthful information against the crooked state of Tennessee. That's what they're doing. So help us spread the message in spite of what they're doing. They're passing laws. The governor's passing laws to stop us from putting out peaceful information against people in state power. And even if you don't believe what we're saying, we have the right to say it. We're subject to laws about private property. We're subject to defamation laws. We're subject to incitement of enemies, lawless action. We can't do that. But they have added a law that forbids us from publishing information that doesn't fall into those illegal categories. That's perfectly legal, legitimate news and propaganda. They've stopped us from publishing it, stuff that we pay for ourselves, while you pay for their mass dissemination of false lies, falsehoods. And that's what we're up against. That's why we need you to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And also share the message, call your friends, and let them know about the channel, and let them know about Charles Van Morgan Unbridled News, and let them know about vote, about the object of this channel is not to promote violence, not to promote false propaganda, not to promote anything unjust. It's to promote voting, the voting for the truth, voters of truth and rage, to promote people who will vote, people in government power that perpetrate the truth. What is the truth stuff? Truthful stuff. So that's what we need to do. So thank y'all so much for joining me today. We'll try to be back on here tomorrow. Can't guarantee. I have been sick, had pneumonia, but I still got the fight in me. It takes a lot to put me down and out. And if I do, you better hang around, make sure I don't come back, because that's the objective, is to make it hard to kill. Hard to kill. They ain't got it done yet, and they ain't gonna get it done. I won't die 1 second before God allows me to die. And I'll do exactly what God asked me to do. Might be popular to you, but if it's popular to God, then that's what I'm pulling for. So we need to get some more likes and shares, and we'll see if we can read some comments. We'll leave the channel open, and belong the fields open. Was fake, now Israel. This is a very, Charles Van Morgan, are you going to the woods? Okay. Of course it was Israel. Yeah, haters of Israel is dangerous to do. And so we got a bunch of baloney in here. So thank y'all for showing up. Thank y'all for watching Charles Van Morgan Unbridled News. We will show up on the scene all across the state where we can find news from a perspective of somebody that knows how dirty the state is, that knows where to look for the truth. So thank y'all so much. Remember, as I always say, God loves you, and I do too.